Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maitri and today I am reviewing this book, You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. I hope I am pronouncing her name right. And this is a lovers to enemies to lovers romance. The first of its kind that I've ever read, and it was such a cute, memorable joyride that I got to experience, and therefore I want to share it all with you and give you this recommendation if it is your cup of tea. So I'll basically be breaking down my review in 5 categories, that is characterization, the plot, that is the story, the pacing of the book, the ending of the book, and at last overall my thoughts and my rating of the book. So starting with the story, I'll just brief you a little bit about the plot and what this book is all about. So the story starts, or rather the first chapter starts with Nicholas and Naomi on their first date, and they are about to kiss and they have a great time. And then we move on to the second chapter where they have been engaged for a year and they have been living together and they hate each other. And that's where the story picks up, and we get to see that how did it all happen, how did they end up hating each other, how did they end up engaged, and what all led to the situation that they are in right now. And their banter, their hating each other, their way of expressing that hate, everything was so fresh, so good, and it was such a hilarious thing to witness. I mean, the things that Naomi was doing to piss Nicholas off and the things that he was doing to piss her off, everything was making me laugh and laugh and laugh, and it was so good. Such a serotonin induced book. And personally, I love the fact that they are all engaged and we see them falling in love with each other again. Talking about the characterization, Nicholas and Naomi, however flawed they were, I loved reading about those two. I mean, there were times when I did not agree with them. There were times when I was like, this is not how you think, or this is not true. I disagreed with them. But I could not help feeling attached to them. I could not help rooting for them. And when we get to the later parts of the book and they are both trying to make this work and everything is moving towards that love part, I could not help rooting for them. I could not help cheering for them to be back together and to see how it all ends. Talking about the pacing of this book is very fast-paced. The only thing is that you have to get through the first 1/3 of this book and then the good part starts. I mean, it's not like the first 1/3 is bad or anything, but you just have to get through that to go on to the even better parts. The whole book is very fast paced. I don't have a complaint with the pacing of the book. My complaint is just the opposite. There were times when the whole plot would build up to something, like Naomi would do something that she's sure would annoy Nicholas so much, and then we don't even get that reaction, like it just fades to black. I mean, I want to see his reaction, like what did he say to it. So I think I have that complaint that it was so fast paced that they were missing some scenes. I wanted to see the reactions to some of the actions that were so described and so hyped up. So that is my one complaint. Otherwise, it's a very fast paced read and you can even complete it in 1 or 2 sittings. Also, another complaint that I have is that there were so many references to different TV shows, to different magazines, to different books. And personally, I have not read or watched every single book or every single show, and those were the points I kept zoning out of it because I did not get what is it they are saying. So sometimes the writing style got confusing because of so many references that were there in the book. Until and unless you can get them, it's very fun, it's amazing, but if you don't get them, you tend to lose out of the flow of the book. So I think that was another complaint with the book. Otherwise, it is a very fresh and unique concept and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Talking about the ending of the book, oh my god, I just completed this book today and I could not stop smiling for the whole of that ending. It was so wholesome. My cheeks hurt from smiling so much. The ending was perfect. Seeing Nicholas and Naomi back together, it was such a joyful experience and I loved the ending, and it was perfect and I couldn't have asked for more. And it was the ending that made the book for me. So while reading this book, I was thinking that it would be a 3.5 or 3.75 stars. but that ending made it a solid 4 stars for me. I loved it so much and it made me feel so good towards the end that I could not help. And this is not the kind of book that becomes your favorite or stands out among others, but this is the kind of book that becomes your comfort book. And I'm sure that even though I'm not a person who rereads much, but if you are a person who likes rereading, if you're a person who likes to go back to your comfort reads, and if this becomes your comfort read, you will go back to it time and again and read it and connect with the characters and have a good time all over again. So overall, my thoughts about it, I really enjoyed this book. I did not know that I would like it as much as I did because I'm not a fan of enemies to lovers, but this was such a fresh concept. The characters were so fresh, so flawed, yet so attachment worthy, and I totally got attached. I totally rooted for them, and I had a really good time being with these characters and reading about them. It was so fun to be in Naomi's mind, who is the narrator of the book, and her monologues that she keeps thinking in her head was so funny. It is a very unrealistic story if you think about it, because it is way too fictionalized. Things like that aren't possible in real world, but this is the kind of story that you go for an escape. So if you are in mood for a light-hearted rom-com that will make you laugh, that is not too heavy, and just a fun ride, you should go for this book, and I'm sure that you will enjoy it. So yeah, I will give it 4 stars. I had a really good time, and I'll read more of this author later on, but this was a good one and I'm so happy about it. Let me know if you're going to pick this book up or if you've already read it, and I would love to know your thoughts about it, about the video, and I'll see you again very soon with another video. Until then, take care, stay safe, and lots of love.